Yo, Kpaceguy here, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So first off, let's do some housekeeping. I just made a new channel, I think just last week, called K Plays Games. And it's a more personal, more relaxed channel where I play just video games and goof off and, you know, rage a little bit with all that good stuff that comes with gaming. And so guys, if you're more the younger kind of audience that I have, you want to see more personalized posts of me and things like that, head over to my K Plays Games channel, where we're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm super excited for it. I just launched it last week. We're already at like 30 subscribers or so I'm starting back at the bottom again, and I'm gonna work my way back up to the top. So it's gonna be fun. So if you're interested in hanging out with me outside of just music and home theater, head over there. So as this video goes, this is 5 must-have things that you need in a home theater, and if you don't have all 5 of these things, then you're slacking. I'm just kidding guys, but let's go ahead and get started. So in no particular order, we're going to name the top 5 things you need in every home theater. And to start it off, we're going to talk about Harmony remotes, Ultimate remotes, Universal remotes in general. So you guys know that I recently got the Logitech Harmony Ultimate Home Remote that I absolutely love. It controls my TV, my AV processor, my bookshelf speakers here, my powered speakers, the outlets that I have, lights, all good things. And I absolutely love it. I have mine in white. It's an awesome piece of equipment, and it's something that I think every home theater needs to have. And the number one reason why I think that is because when you have a home theater, you are going to have a lot of components. You're going to have a TV or a projector. You're going to have a Blu-ray player or some kind of media hub. You're going to have an AV processor or receiver, amplification, and what have you. And you're going to have a lot of remotes for every single one of those pieces of equipment. And it just makes it so much nicer and tidier if you can have all your units controlled by one remote, so you don't have several different remotes all in one place. That's probably the number one reason of having a universal remote, but the number 2 reason is that you don't have to continue to pick up and put down different remotes every time you want to change something. So if you're watching a home theater, a movie or something, you have a remote for your Blu-ray player, you have a remote for your AV receiver or processor to turn up and down the volume, you have the remote for the TV. If you can sum those remotes all into one, it makes it much more convenient and easier to use across the whole house. You may have a lot of people who are not sure what remote goes to what, but when you have one remote, it controls everything, and it's much easier to use, and it's a much cleaner look in your home theater. So if you don't have a universal remote of some sort, you need to get one. Another must-have thing in any home theater is a big TV or a big projector. Not just any TV or any projector, but a big one. If you really want to feel immersed in that sound and that experience, you're going to want the biggest screen that makes sense for your room. Me personally, I'm coming from a 55-inch. I've had it for a while in a bedroom, so I haven't upgraded it for the space that I have here in my living room. And it sucks, because I really wish I had a bigger TV, and that's something that I really have been thinking about and really been saving for, is a bigger television. And it will really make a difference in your overall experience. I have a lot of sound in this room, and my picture quality is good, but my size of it doesn't make sense for all the other components that I have in my room. So if you don't have a big TV or a big screen of some sort, you may want to look into one. If you're true into home theater and audio, you really might want to think about getting something like that. It's really going to change your experience in your home theater. It's going to make those movies just that much better. So if you don't have a big screen TV or projector, maybe look at some. Next up on this list is seats. Good seats. Now, seats are subjective. What's comfortable to you may not be comfortable to somebody else. And you also have to weigh in the fact that it has to look good in your room too. It's much easier to have a dedicated home theater like a basement or something of that sort, where you can get actual home theater seats. But a lot of people's home theaters are right smack dab in a living room, and you share that space with your friends, your family. If you're in a roommate or whatever, you share that space with other people other than yourself. So putting nice leather reclining seats may not make any sense for the wife or the children or the dog or whatever you have going on in your home. So you kind of have to be happy with what you can have, because you have to have a happy wife or a happy family as well. So, but at least if you're going to get seats of some sort, make them comfortable nonetheless. Whether they're home theater seats or a standard couch or whatever, make sure they're comfortable, because you're going to be sitting there all the time. They need to be able to last the test of time. You're going to be sitting there every day, every night, every other day or so, and you're going to be sitting in that seat for years and years to come. You want that seat to be something that you know is going to be comfortable. When somebody comes over, they need to be comfortable too. So if you're into home theater seats, make sure they're comfortable, make sure they're good quality, make sure that they're going to last different people sitting in there. If you spill anything, drop anything, make sure they can handle that kind of thing. If you're getting a standard couch, Make sure it looks good, makes sense for your room, makes sense for your wife and for your husbands or whatever you guys have going on in your home, but still is comfortable because you're going to be sitting there watching movies for as long as you can handle that couch. So make sure it's a good and comfortable one. Next up on this list are power conditioners and power strips, and you guys have heard me talk about this all the time. If you're going to really put money into your system, that's your TV, your speakers, your electronics, your components, you want to power them with not just good power, but clean power. The worst thing you can have happen to your system is a bad storm come through or something of the sort, a power surge comes through and just completely fries your whole system. Now you're stuck with nothing. And of course, a lot of people have home insurance and different insurance for their electronics, but it probably won't cover everything since electronics are very, very expensive. So you want to protect your electronics with all the power you can. Protect them with a surge protector nonetheless. If you can afford to get a power conditioner, I would definitely recommend that because it not only is it a surge protector, it also cleans that power up and sends it good clean power straight from your wall if you don't have dedicated power lines for your electronics. So I have a power conditioner and I've had one for years and years and years, and before that I had a power strip. Not only the power strips add clean power and they add protection, they also add more outlets, and it makes a lot of sense when you're in a home theater kind of environment. A lot of things need electricity. Your stereos, your speakers, potentially if they're powered, your TV, your Blu-ray, all that good stuff needs electricity. And it's very, very beneficial to power it with good power, protect it, and then have a lot of outlets for multiple devices. So guys, definitely get a power protector. If you don't have one now, it's a must-have. So before we get into the last top 5 that you must have in every home theater, I have an honorable mention, and that's going to be some high-speed Wi-Fi. And I found that Wi-Fi is just an important part of everyday living now. Wi-Fi is super important. In most of our phones, we use Wi-Fi at home so that we don't use our data plans. Smart TVs are a thing now. Every TV is smart from any size, from any company. They need Wi-Fi to work. So you're really going to want good Wi-Fi, especially when it comes to home theater, because if you're a person who doesn't want to use Blu-ray discs or DVDs, you're probably streaming all of your content, whether that's YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, Vudu, any of those services, they all need Wi-Fi. And if you're watching on a 4K TV, the only way to get 4K video playback is to have a high enough bandwidth of your Wi-Fi to get that source input. So only good speed, high-speed Wi-Fi can transmit 4K. If your speeds are not high enough, you may be getting 1080p, you may be getting 720p, or you may be having a lot of buffering throughout your video, which is going to ruin the experience. So in order to get 4K streaming services, you're going to have 4K capable Wi-Fi. For me, I'm running 50 megabytes, which seems to be perfect. It allows me to watch 4K content with no buffering. So I only pay maybe $55 or so for that from my water company that I'm through. And it's good enough. I can play games with no problem. I can watch 4K while I'm playing games and be on my laptop. So it's fast enough for me to watch 4K and all. So 50 megabytes-ish, 60 megabytes, if you can find a company that can provide that at a good price, then you should definitely utilize that. It's going to help your viewing experience, especially if you're the type of person or the type of people who watch things via streaming methods, whether that's the Amazon Fire TVs, the sticks and the cubes, Google Chromecast. If you're watching Vudu or Netflix, the only way you're going to be able to utilize your 4K services is if you have fast enough Wi-Fi. So that's going to have to be my honorable mention. Last on this list is obvious, but I have to say it, and that's good audio. It's nice to have your projector and a big screen TV, but if your audio doesn't match your picture quality, then why did you get the picture quality in the first place? In a home theater, the first step in having a good home theater is having a good audio system. You need good subs, you need good speakers that can handle the volume, that can handle the music. Whatever you want to do, it has to be able to take control of that. Have a good AV processor or AV receiver that can power your speakers with good power. Make sure you send your speakers good information so that if you have good speakers, they can actually perform to their ability. So right now, I have big old bookshelves and big old towers and a big old center, and I love it. And that's my standard now. I can't ever buy anything less than that because I've set the bar so high that anything that I buy from here on out has to be here or higher. And so for you guys, if you're coming from a sound bar or something like that, you may want to look into upgrading your speakers to maybe a set of bookshelves or a 5-channel bookshelf setup or something small like that. Because even coming from a sound bar to some bookshelf speakers can make a big difference. I learned throughout experience that putting speakers in that place is the best way to get surround sound. So for example, if you want sound to come from here and from here, put a speaker there. It's nice to have, you know, emulations where you can bounce sound off of walls and ceilings to replicate a surround sound effect, but there's nothing better than actually sticking a speaker there. And it's hard for people to do because you do have that wife acceptance factor, or maybe you're a female who has a husband who doesn't want all that stuff in his living room, or maybe you just don't have the means or the money or the space to put a lot of speakers in. There's a lot of ways around that. I don't really recommend home theater in a box, but there are actually some really good home theater in a box that makes sense. I don't usually recommend sound bars either, but there are some really good sound bars out there that have wireless speakers that you can put in the back, and even that's better than just one strip of speaker underneath your TV. So get some good audio if you're really into home theater or really into watching movies. It's gonna really enhance your experience. You don't have to go crazy like I have over the years, getting $2,000 speakers here and there or whatever. You don't have to go that route to get good audio. Go to a good sound bar that has wireless speakers and a decent sub so that you can get some better experience other than your TV or your projector. Or if you're okay with getting bookshelves, get some bookshelves and put them on a stand. You can find some really quality bookshelves and some really good stands for really good prices, and then get a good receiver, of course, to power them all. So that's gonna have to be definitely the #1 out of all of this on this list. Alright guys, so that's gonna do it for this video. Remember, head over to Kpaceguy. That's my new gaming channel where we're gonna have tons of fun. I'm a totally different character on that channel. I'm more professional here, but I kind of let loose on the other one. So if you're a fan of gaming, a fan of me, or a younger guy or younger girl, definitely head over to that channel as well so you guys can hang out with me. Also guys, leave me a comment down below any of the things that I may have missed. Let me know your top 2, 3, 4, or 5 different things that every home theater has that I didn't name. Make sure you leave that in the comments down below. Also, leave me down below how many of those 5 things do you have in your home theater now? Do you have that universal remote? Do you have that projector? Don't lie to me if you don't. Let me know if you do. So guys, I enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. If I helped you out, leave me a like. Also hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you soon for the next video. I hope to see you on my new channel as well, and Kpaceguy out. See you guys.